Welcome to the Soulful CXO. I'm your host, Dr. Rebecca Wynn. We are pleased to have back with us today Terry Grafenstine, the Chief Audit Executive for Pentagon Federal Credit Union. Terry is the 2025-2026 past chair for the Global Board of Directors of the IAA, recognized as one of the top 10 audit thought leaders of the decade, inducted into the IAA Hall of Distinguished Audit Practitioners, and has held numerous leadership roles to support auditing, accounting, and information technologies professions for the AICPA and Osaka. She speaks globally on a wide range of subjects, including cybersecurity, internal auditing, accounting standards, resilience, leadership, and risk. Terry, it is so great to see you again. Welcome back to the show.
Great to see you as well. And thank you for asking me to be on.
You know, one of the challenges that when I speak to other CISOs out there that we're running into, they should be doing better security hygiene, privacy hygiene, compliance hygiene, because let's face it, they're trying to keep the doors open, data flowing so they can, they can still even have a business. And now they're kind of chasing their tails because you're like, holy crap, Batman, my typical saying, there's a lot of things that aren't shored up. And then obviously we're taking a lot of personal risk as well, because you don't want those to get breached, and balance your integrity as an individual in the profession at the same time. What do you usually mentor and tell people how we manage that in today's world?
Yeah, I work in a highly regulated environment. Going light is not an option. How can I move this so that way I'm not adding risk, but I'm still doing my job? And so the other thing I would say is that as an auditor and even security professionals, we all get pressured at some point by somebody saying, you guys, you want me to do all the, if you're a security person, you really want me to do this extra security thing. And do you understand how I got to get my job done? And you security people are such a risk to me. Or auditors, coming in and auditing this, it's I have all these really important things to do. If you come in and audit this, you're going to ruin the world. I mean, and the thing is, and the first reaction is, I don't want to be the person who ruins the world. I don't want to be that person. I want to be liked. I want people to like me. But at the end of the day, it's our job is not necessarily to be liked. We got to do what's right. But you have to balance that. We don't want to be zealots. We don't want to cloak ourselves in this thing where, this is the right thing. No, sometimes gray. The world is about gray. But you have to look at it in terms of you got to do what's right. And you have to, at the end of the day, for me, I have a moral compass, and I got to be able to live with myself, and I got to make sure that I am doing the right thing, but also looking at the other person's perspective and saying, okay, is there anything that we can do that still keeps us all on the right path, but that is sort of, acknowledges the very real business types of responsibilities that the other side has? And can we strike a balance? Can we move things a month? Can we scope this part out and maybe look at it in 2 months? Or, a lot of it's about how you scope things and the timing of things. So that way you're not crushing your organization, but you're still doing the right thing.
Have you found over time a way to communicate really what the security risk posture is to the organization, even from an audit perspective, an effective way to actually communicate that effectively to the executives? Have you found any golden nuggets that way? Because we're all looking for.
Yeah, sure. That's a great question. I would say that with most really senior executives, bottom line up front, just tell me what the answer is. I know when somebody's briefing me and it's they think they're going to tell me a mystery novel, and at the end they're going to tell me the butler did it. It's just tell me right now, did the butler do it? We can go chase him down, together. But a lot of times they want to tell you, security people and auditors are very similar. They want to show you all the great work they did. So they want to show you 10,000 pages, bullets and sub-bullets and appendices and supporting spreadsheets and, whatever. It's and because that's what's meaningful to them. They want to show you that they did the work and that's really data driven, which I respect, because we want people in those roles who are driven by data and who've done the work and stuff. But you got to be able to summarize it. So that way you're telling your stakeholder, your very senior person, that this is what they got to worry about. And this is either how we're fixing it or how I need their help. What's their decision? What's their role in this? And if they want, there are a lot of senior stakeholders who want to drill into the detail. And so if you have that in your back pocket and say, okay, let's go through it. And so that way you show that you did the work, but not all, because a lot of times you get these really senior executives and they only have 15 minutes because it's like they're dealing with you and 1,000 other, big problems, and they can chunk off this amount of time. So I would say know who your stakeholder is, because a lot of us will know it's like this person loves details. This person maybe wants a summary, but always, regardless if they're a detail or summary person, always start off at the bottom line up front and what you need from them.
And when you start a brand new company and you go in there, I know everyone's like, what are you going to do your first 90 days? What kind of things can you recommend people go ahead and look at even when they get there, or who they should be talking to in the organization to figure that out?
So one of the things I would say is when you change an organization, I think I'll start with the biggest mistake you can make, and then I'll go into how I think to navigate a new place. Biggest mistake is to come in and think you know all the answers and you want to change everything before you actually even know where the ladies' room is or the cafeteria. It's like, I don't even know where the cafeteria is, but I'm here, I'm going to fix everything. It's like, wait a minute, who are you? And so I would say, don't do that. Even if you think you've heard rumors or whatever during the recruiting, they said this really needs to be fixed, go with an open mind. In terms of how to kind of really get a sense of the lay of the land, the first thing that I've done is meet with all the people. So it's like in my current role, one of the things I did is that I met with the team, because they're the people I'm going to be working that are going to be on my team. I met with my peers, and then I met with the stakeholders, and then I met with my boss. And so through each one of those, they're going to give me a piece of the puzzle as to how the overall organization works. So in the first, say, 30 days, it's really about just meeting all the humans and then setting up recurring meetings. And as you kind of meet them, you're getting a better sense of all their different views on what's going well, maybe what's not going so well. And you have to take into account the fact that people aren't necessarily going to be throwing their, wearing their heart on their sleeve. Map it out and say, okay, based on my first 30 days, what are some of the processes I think that probably might be problematic and ones that we might want to drill into a little bit deeper? What are some of the ones that are key that I really need to learn better before I start monkeying around with them? And then you go into sort of technologies. What are some of the things I need to do from a tech perspective and to really kind of make sure we're leveraging these things? And do I have the appropriate tools for my team to be successful? So it's like humans first, and then be very methodical and systematic about really kind of plotting down your observations.
With that, we said high pressure, a lot of things to analysis, everything else. How do you recommend people really balance burnout? Because that's one thing, it's easy then when you do start new jobs where you end up like you're pulling in 60, 70, 80, 100 hours and it seems like you're going 24/7. And the next thing you know that, you're beyond burned out and then you got problems. How do you recommend people handle that? And how do you recommend as a leader to watch out for that with their key people? Because you never want to lose key people because you didn't pay attention that they were burning out.
No, I think that's a great question. Thank you, Rebecca. So from my personal experience, I think there is a time that you need to probably double down and understand that when you're first getting into a place, it's probably not a 40-hour week. I don't think it's ever a 40-hour week job if you're at a certain level in a company. But when you first start somewhere, absolutely not a 40-hour week job. I think when I started my current role, I think the only time I wasn't working was when I was actively asleep, initially. But that's more about me than it is about what was being demanded of me. But it was more about me. I needed to read everything. I wanted to make sure I understood everything because I didn't want to change stuff unless I really understood what it was, what the current situation was. So, but that should be like sort of a defined period of time, right? But then after that, you need to kind of start setting boundaries. So, what are those boundaries? Because if you are all just living work and your kids don't know who you are, your partner doesn't know who you are, it's like, well, what am I doing this for? And so I think that it's okay to, double down and to really invest yourself in work in these kind of key, periods of time where you're having to, learn a new thing or build a new process or build a new team. But after that, you kind of got to set those boundaries. It's like we need to make sure we're striking those balances with work and life, and that we need to make sure people have enough time to decompress and have lives and all that. I would say for those who are still struggling with that, change starts with you, right? Make sure that you're on the lookout for that and helping each other.
Thank you. And thank you for reminding us the humans. I tell people, you can lose good people just because you have a caring heart first and see what's going on. Terry, our time's run short.
Thank you, Rebecca.